Fashion is like a fruit. You couldn't eat it the day before and you couldn't eat it the day after. It's just about today. I'm Albert. It's very, very cut and short, you know. I'm not Albert from Lanvin, I'm not Albert from Saint Laurent, I'm not Albert from Guy Laroche. I'm just Albert. I always was. I think this is what helped me actually to stay sane and grounded. To always be myself, to be who I am, to be what I am. But I make clothes for living. Some people say that I'm a good technician. Maybe I would love to. Some people say that I'm a storyteller. Well, when we do clothes, when we do a collection, it's a story as well that we are telling. Some will say creative director. This is actually the title I like the least. Creative director. I think that when you create, you cannot direct, and when you direct, it's very, very difficult to be creative. So I don't think that direction and creation are good sisters. I work with people. I love people. This is what excites me today more than anything. So that's the inspiration. I have to have two elements today in my life in order to be doing what I need to do. One is freedom, and the other one is a little bit of love. If I have these two ingredients, I think I can do what I do and be happy. If I have to choose between being a producer or product, I think I'm a producer, so I can be backstage. I'm more about this voyeur, this antenna. I look all the time. I look at people, I listen, I try to understand what is it that women want, what is it that men are all about. I try to understand this data, I try to process it, and I try to analyze it. But sometimes I have to also forget everything and just work with my feelings. So this is what I do, working with feeling and telling story. Luxury today is in a different place, I think. Somehow we always have this definition between high fashion and street fashion. When it comes to street fashion, it was really all about marketing. I mean, you analyze the product, the time, the price, the production, the color, everything was all very calculated. When we talk about luxury, about high fashion, it was never about calculating, it was about intuition. I think today when I see that we in luxury are producing, in a way, sweatshirt and some street fashion company are doing evening wear, I'm questioning the system. I'm questioning whether the involvement of marketing into the world of luxury is the best thing or the worst thing that could happen to luxury. I think what we have to do is to still elevate people. We still have to make them dream, because it's not just about a 2 meter of fabrics, that we create a dress. It's more than that. It's what that piece of fabric made you feel. How do you feel? How do you stand? Who you are when you wear it? I think that what we do is almost a work that we could do almost in a laboratory, because we are working on shapes, on cuts, on fabrics, on technique, and sometimes it takes us 6, 7, 8 samples to create one piece, and it's okay. Now, if you think about it, it's not very profitable in the sense of business or marketing. We also produce in Paris, with French atelier, which has such a know-how, but so much more expensive that if we will produce it elsewhere in the world. So now what do? Do you shut all these places and run away? And what happened to these people? And we are an industry of people. In the end of the day, our industry of fashion is an industry that is based on a thread and a needle and a seamstress. So it is a people industry. So we cannot leave them. And we are working with people. This is our orchestra. We're only kind of conductors, that without our orchestra, we couldn't do anything. So our team is helping us to produce our ideas, to make it happen, to bring it to life. Without them, we're nothing. And that's why we work with them. This is why we have this symbiosis between the design and the technique. I do find that the one thing that I enjoy the most doing is being in the store, in the dressing room, and waiting for women to come with a piece, and sometimes I can't wait, and I go inside the dressing room, and I tell them that when I do that, I don't feel like a designer, I feel more like a doctor. And I love to work, and I love to feel that I could make a change. I love to see the person, and I love to find the pieces that will fit her. And when I'm talking about fitting, I don't talk about just physically, what size are you, and then give you the right piece that it will fit you physically. But I think it's about knowing the person, is understanding who she is, to understanding what is it that she wants to hide, what is it that she loves about herself, where is she coming from and where she goes to. So for me, the real haute couture is when you actually work with a person. All the philosophy of my work when I joined Lanvin, after 2 years I was out of fashion and traveled the world, was to do things in a different way, to do things that I enjoy. I wanted to bring joy to my life. I didn't want to do fashion and to suffer and to complain. I wanted to enjoy what I do. And I think that when you enjoy something and when you bring a good energy to it, it shows in the product. I mean, I think that we create what we are. Basically, when we are sad, we create sad, and when we are happy, we create happy.
L'austérité dans l'érotisme, et l'érotisme dans l'austérité, la rigueur et à la fois la fluidité, l'évidence.
Show are incredibly complex, requiring patience and meticulous concentration.
Make it shorter. Retrécis la jupe un moment, bastide tight là. Can we have it shorter? Shorter and tighter. Et je pense la manche doit être un petit peu plus court, un petit peu plus fitée. OK, let's go a little bit shorter. Non, on l'a fait un petit peu plus fitée maintenant. Retrécis ça c'est important. Est-ce que tu penses qu'on doit prendre un petit peu de côté ou pas pour la faire plus fitée? Raccourcis moi la jupe beaucoup, juste que je vois quelque chose. C'est moins religieux. Il n'y a pas la symétrie, il n'y a pas la nouvelle cuisine. Où est là, tu vois, c'est pas un buffet avec 2 carottes. Il y a plein de tout. Est-ce qu'on adore les chaussures? Pas mal avec le gold. On veut lui donner un collier ici ou pas? Le manque me fait toujours très peur. Alors je préfère avoir plus, tu vois. Plus des colliers, plus de vêtements, plus de chaussures. Peut-être parce que j'avais toujours vécu dans un manque.
Tu commences l'année par des douceurs, par du sucré sur ta langue, dans ton cœur.
Ça c'est quoi?
Ce sont des corbeilles aux amandes.
Des corbeilles, c'est comme des couronnes. Là, arrête de filmer, viens mange.
Everybody's in a good mood, even though this is the most complicated collection to date.
C'était assez difficile cette année. On n'a pas travaillé de la même façon que d'habitude. Albert aimait bien le côté bord vif, les vêtements un peu finis, juste comme ça.
L'air de rien, inutilement. Il faut que la robe soit un peu comme ça, pas calculée, l'air de rien. Et là, j'ai de plus en plus souvent quand même des choses assez strictes et calculées.
On avait des tissus qui étaient pas faciles. Et il a fallu vraiment essayer pour que tout soit vraiment impeccable.
Le plus galère, c'était qui?
Le plus galère? La robe serpent, on a peiné quand même. Parce qu'on travaille depuis le mois de juillet quand même.
Take place with supermodel Carly Kloss.
Non, pas du tout. Vous voyez comme quoi les apparences sont trompeuses. Pas du tout. Il suffit juste d'avoir le corps et puis de la mettre dessus. Et hop, c'est fini.
God, beautiful.
Je veux aller à l'opéra.
But you're too tall for a dancer, no?
Ouais, mais toujours, parce que je suis plus longue pour les hommes, alors toujours, je suis le soloiste.
Là, quand elle bouge, ça remonte toujours la taille.
Parce que le dos est bizarre. Mais ça va faire ça, le dos? Et ça monte. Voilà. Prends ton temps, Isabelle. Tu as toute la nuit.
Ah, ben merci, c'est sympa. T'en fais combien, là?
Et Kylie est gentille, il prend le temps.
Elle est
Non, la pauvre, elle est morte.
Allez, c'est bon, Isabelle. Bravo, Isabelle.
Merci.
Cette fois, tu as fait un bon travail. You know, this is the kitchen table of Jean Lanvin. I brought it when I moved to this part of the studio. And, you know, I always said that I'm not someone that works in an ambience of like, you know, living room and remote control. It's all around the kitchen. So it's always very hot and very heated. Because she actually worked on men. She did the couture show. She did children. She did all the furniture, all the house design. And I thought it was quite advanced for her time. We started to work on the collection and we started going to the archive. And then I asked myself many questions. And I asked myself, what do I do with the archive? Do I remake it? Do I take it and copy it? Do I take it and get inspired? Where I am in that whole picture? And I thought I'm going to take things and themes. Fashion always feels like a crime scene. that we can take it from others, but we have to know how to move it around so nobody will know where it's coming from, and that's what we've done.
That's a great.
These are all these jackets that she did from the beginning of the century. The first one was in 1909. It's the Academy jacket, and apparently it took 600 hours to make one of those tailor jacket, all gold thread, and you'll see what we've done with that. Then we found all these pictures of the screen done by Rateau. You'll see how we did like all the prints coming from here. After the archive, I'm like, okay, now what do you do with that? You know, you have the cake, now who do you invite? And where do you put the cake? What is it that women want? And it's not about being commercial, and it's not about understanding the women and go with what they need, but it's just being relevant to a moment, to a certain time. So I thought it would be interesting to do part of the collection which is about nothing. Just about a crepe dress, it's just about a white jacket, it's just about a new blouse. But when I see the pictures, I see so much of everything. So I said, maybe it's about all and nothing. And this is what the collection is all about. It's about all and nothing. So I'm starting with nothing, and then I go to all. Our industry and who we are and what we are, it's always about next, 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 next. And who is the next model? And then they tell you, oh, don't take her. And I'm asking myself, why shouldn't I take her? And where is that committee sitting in Switzerland to decide who is in and who is out? I want to go back to some sort of reality that is happening in the street and in life. And it's not about what's next, and it's not about going forward. It's also about listening to us and looking at women and to say, you know what, it's not about in and out. It's not about being the person of the moment in any sense. And it's also about taking people that have experience. And here is Amber and Catherine and Violetta and Natasha. Then we go to Malgosia, and then Audrey Marney, and then we have Kim, and then we have like Kristen Owens, and then we have Esther. First we thought, sure, we put them together, and we said, no, it's not a gang. Let's like mix them wherever they feel. And the one thing I found quite interesting, really interesting, that when the model comes, you want to add and add and add the model. When I have those women, less you put, better they look. The moment I start to charge, it looks so irrelevant and so fakey and so flaky. And in the end, you just needed like a black top and a black skirt, just a white dress. I hope that after the show, the whole questionnaire will not be like about the casting, because the casting is the form, not the content. The content is different. The content is about all and nothing. I said I'm going to start the show also with long dresses, but they are so simple, and I was really starving to see these elegant women, women that don't need much. And you know who are the women that wear these kind of clothes? Women that are the most smart themselves, because smart and sophisticated women are very simple dresser in the end. It's like the blue Lanvin, and it's very simple. It's 2 squares of fabrics, and they're just twisted in the back. Because of the whole high-tech thing, I try to introduce a lot of metallery into this collection. You remember these jackets? So here is like all this tailoring that we did with this gold thread, and then we have this kind of leather, and it's not a necklace, it's part of, you see the metallery again?
Yes.
Metal, metal. Even in the bag, we have the metal. Come, Olga, let's put even the bracelet there to see. You see the pearls that Jean Lanvin used, but look how all mechanical here. And that's how we show it here now. You see that the skirt has no seams, it's all like one circle. Here are the pearls, and here are the circles.
Look at this dress, and you don't have to know that it relates to this draping
no,
in any way.
Not at all. And that's a job of a designer. You see here, this is a cape. So I can take something and make it something else that is relevant for today. And this is this. Turn, Olga.
What is this from?
The screen,
It's the
of...
screen, okay. Are there a great deal of prints? I mean, is it all from the
Yes.
screen?
All of them are from the screen, but I played with a lot of shine under the print. That will be like all mix of shine and print and tailoring, and that's the all.
So
That's
the all is
all.
also in the process and what it
In the
took to
process of
do, and
everything
the visual
together.
result.
It's all my team that works on every piece for a long time. We go back and forth, and I'm never happy enough till it's all done, and then boom, you have the show, you work, you have to mix it, and it's gone. and you start all over again. And when we are miserable, we create miserable. And it shows, and it feels on the body. I think that it's one thing when we do it in the show, it's another when you go to a store, you don't want to see the same jackets, and you don't want to see all your girlfriend eating or coming to the office with the same shirt. The whole thing was to do almost like one of a kind. So to do a one of a kind collection that I fit almost, I think that half of my life I'm in fittings. And I will take a piece and I will drape it in red, and it's one thing. And then I said, let's do it in blue. And I think, wow, okay, the marketing people will be happy with me. So we do it in blue, and then in blue it doesn't work. Then I have to change, and one of a sudden I have to make it longer. And one of a sudden in blue, I have to add a few more pleats on the side. And then I have to move it from the waist maybe a bit higher than the waist. And somehow in the red, it was good because the red, the color was enough. When I use a non-color, I have to bring a volume. So there we go. We have now two skirts that I thought were one. So I prefer evolution. I prefer when things move gradually. When you take, a jacket and you add something and then you move forwards. And that's what I am also as a person. What I think changed a lot, and more than a lot, is internet. I think that changed fashion. It's like the Industrial Revolution changed the world at the time. I think that when the camera came to fashion, it changed fashion enormously, because before designer used just like a pencil, and it was all about illustration. And illustration you have to add in order to be or to see some sort of substance. So you have to add more line, more detail, more colors, more volume. And then the camera started to be used in fashion, and fashion changed. What is the difference between the three medium, between the eye, the mirror, and the screen? And I find more and more that whatever looks amazing on the screen doesn't feel good on the body. So how do you deal with style.com? How do you deal with Vogue.com? Do we have to do a collection that looks good on the screen or that looks good on the body? Is it looks good on the body or feel good on the body? This is another question. Red carpet is a very, very, very difficult thing. I have to first know the person, and I know the actresses, the one that we're dressing, I love them. They're beautiful, they're fragile, they are talented, they are gorgeous women, and I try to just help them to look beautiful on the red carpet. For me, it would be like helping them more feeling beautiful and looking beautiful, and then if it photographs well, okay, but it's not always photographing well what I do, because it's more about how it feels and how they look. And I always try to see, this is always like a difficult one, how to make my dress disappear. It's exactly like in architecture. When you come to your room, and even if you had a very, very good architect that had done it, you don't want to come to the room and to say, beautiful architecture. You want to come to a room and you want the architecture to disappear. So you almost feel that nothing was done. Because I think that when you do the red carpet and all you see is a dress with a bag, with a necklace, and with a pair of earrings, and extension, and eyelashes, you're missing the point. I want to see the women. I want to understand who they are. I respect them for the work they've done. I respect them for month and month and month of anxiety and hard work and fear not to have another job, and fear not to be loved, and fear not to be good. I appreciate, I respect them, I love them for that fragility and vulnerability. These are the women I get. And now I have to make a piece that in the end the piece will disappear. And all I want to see is the face of that woman. The world is changing. I was in China a few months ago, and I saw this amazing generation of young kids in China. Most of them are, they don't have brothers and sisters. So it's like one person that has like mother and father and two sets of grandparents that love them and nurture them and educate them. So you see a beautiful, beautiful product, beautiful kids that are so sure of themselves and they're so full of love, that they were taken care of. At the same time, I saw that there is a great sense of tradition on one hand, and then there is also a very futuristic lifestyle. So everything is tweeting, everything is, like Facebook, everything is like on machine. So people can sit and send each other a tweet or an email rather than look into their eyes and said, you know what, I really love you this morning. There isn't any of that. And I'm thinking there is something about the past and something about the future. And there is something that in the present seemed to be a bit confusing. And for me, everything is about the moment, is about the today. Even though I hate the word the moment, I prefer longevity. I feel much less joy in the world today than before. I don't know, I see this seriousness, this fear everywhere. Everybody's kind of scared for some reason. Everybody's like, oh my God, I have to run. Oh my God, it's so stressful. Oh my God, I have to perform. Oh my God, I have to sell. And somehow, I think that we have to go back to the essence of what we really, really did and do. And fashion was always a family business. That was the nature of fashion. There was a logic to it because, when you're with your family, even if you don't have great legs, you can still wear a bikini. And it allows you to do things and to experiment. And those experiments, I think, were the drive of innovation. This is when fashion came. This is when fashion became. Because you took a risk. And I want to take back that risk. And I'm not saying that we have to be silly and to take risks and say, let's try to do a tool, for winter. No, because we know it's not working. But I think we have to bring a bit of intuition, a bit of instinct to fashion. I think we have to bring back joy. We have to go back to know-how. We work around the world with ateliers that are quite old. The people in the atelier are not in their 20s, and they are not in their 30s, and they are not in their 40s. They are almost in their 60s, and what will happen next? Maybe in the past it was all about fashion, and fashion was more important than anything, because if you look good, people sometimes have the perception, or the thought that you are also smart. She looks so amazing, she should be amazing also in her work. And you know what, I met so many people that were not looking amazing, but they were the best in their job because it wasn't about themselves, it was about giving. Somehow when I see people that are too perfect in the look, it's all about them, it's not about the rest. Some of my best assistants, were the ones that are coming just with a white shirt and a jeans. And then everything they do is about fantasy for the rest, to give. It's about giving, I remember when my father died, my mother that was a painter, to go and work in a cafe as a cashier. And she never did it in her life. I was a teenager and she told me it's so confusing for her because she has to get them things and then she has to get their money and give them change. So she asked someone that we knew that was a bookkeeper. She asked her if she can explain her the essence of accounting. And that lady told her it's very easy. You get and you give. That's so easy. You give and you get. And I think that this is the essence of life. We have to give and we get. And when we get, we give. And it has to go both ways. You cannot only give and you cannot only get. Ici, on doit alors remplir le diamant dans le côté. Yes? Voilà, parfait, bon. Allez, go, turn, please. Là, c'est bon. Beaucoup, si je pense, ici aussi, tu peux monter légèrement. Parfait sur elle, parfait. See if you can walk if it's not too tight. Did you see yourself with the dress?
Oh, it's amazing. I want to wear it now. I feel like $1 million.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Je pense que là, on a pris un petit peu trop. Juste là.
Je vérifie ma longueur et je coupe et j'y vais. De toute façon, je crois qu'on n'a plus le choix pour demain, donc j'y vais. Si je me plante, on fait toute la robe.
Resserrer la robe, faire attention que cela ne tire pas dans le froid.
C'était trop large, on voyait le bleu marine du dos, donc on redéfait.
On défait tout et on recommence.
Bon, là il y a du bobo.
Et sinon, on a modifié les fentes aussi, 3 fois.
C'est un vrai moule, un moule.
Ça va vous prendre combien de temps, ça?
Revoir longueur bas veste et resserrer bas de veste.
Plus ça va, plus c'est petit.
Rendez-vous dans 1 heure si vous voulez, pour voir un résultat.
Non, je ne peux pas.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez à faire?
Vous voulez une liste complète? Que la première étape, c'est de remettre tout en état.
Ah mince, mais hier vous me disiez qu'elle était simple.
Oui, hein, vous avez vu? On regrette amèrement des fois.
Bien, on coupe bastide et après on va fitter un petit peu le pantalon. Allez, 4. Toujours un sort de téléphone cassé. J'ai voulu, moi, travailler avec les modélistes parce que pour moi, c'est pas des techniciens. Pour moi, je crée presque tout avec les modélistes. Alors, c'est moi qui fais le premier atelier. Je travaille avec chacun individuellement.
Je connais pas d'autres maisons qui fonctionnent comme ici, avec cette relation directe entre le modéliste et le styliste. Les autres maisons passent par le chef d'atelier.
Là, je trouve assez joli. Où est-ce que tu trouves qu'il y a trop de tissu ici? Parce que là, quand je fais ça, ici, j'ai de tout. Bastide.
Ouais. Ok, c'est bon.
Là, j'ai ouvert, il y avait une...
Oui.
J'ai ouvert, je le pousse un petit peu à l'intérieur. Tu vois, juste comme ça, pour avoir plus de peau. Bastide, c'est vrai que quand j'ai ramassé, ça remet là à sa place comme c'était. Maintenant, ce que j'aurais besoin, Bastide, si tu peux couper ça, peut-être 2 cm plus long. Comme ça, on voit comment elle bouge avec toutes les ouvertures. Vraiment coupé. Allez.
Je peux déjà enlever tout ça?
Même plus. Tu as peur, hein?
Ouais, j'ai un peu peur.
It's shorter, and then we'll bring maybe the diamond. Atia, c'est une fille que j'aime beaucoup et sa mère, c'est Eva. Ils habitent à Los Angeles. C'est une fille spéciale. J'ai dit que si j'avais une fille, j'aurais aimé avoir une fille comme elle parce qu'elle est super touchante, très très intelligente. Le look que je donnais hier était was not believable parce qu'elle n'était pas confortable. Moi aussi, j'étais pas confortable. Le look est super, mais elle peut pas marcher. Faster. And now walk just like Frost. Now come to me, go there. Bigger step, big, like almost like. That's it. You have those shoes at home? We're going to give you those, okay? But you don't lose them, huh? And you just walk with them in the hotel. You walk differently with that than yesterday. Moi, je me sens très triste maintenant.
Vous êtes super triste?
Non, après le défilé, je suis malade. Vraiment malade. Là, je suis super triste. Parce que je sens que, voilà, j'ai fini, ça m'appartient plus. Voilà. On a fait tout notre travail, on les met en plastique. On met des numéros. La robe rouge, c'est numéro 15. La jaquette noire, c'est numéro 17. C'est style number 667, en couleur 68. 2000 €. Sold.
Pas faute de ma volonté à moi. Hein.
Pourtant, j'ai l'impression que ça a avancé, moi.
Eh bien non, ça n'allait pas encore. Je crois que ça va aller de mal en pis.
Non, là, il n'y a rien qui va, là. Un mannequin avec des bras, s'il te plaît, et on regarde ça après. Ouais, t'avais trouvé ça à l'intérieur? Il faut mettre une double épaulette pour que ça tienne mieux.
C'est la collection des épaulettes. Hein. Il y en a beaucoup.
Est-ce que vous en avez mis une paire en 10 ans avec Albert?
Une collection de 2 paires d'épaulettes peut-être.
En 10 ans, 2 paires d'épaulettes.
Oui.
Là, il y en a 130.
Oui, c'est fort possible.
Ça nous a pas facilité la vie.
Tu en as fait plein des épaulettes cette saison. Plein d'épaulettes. Un jour, là, la semaine dernière, j'ai dessiné un ange et j'ai dessiné les aigles. Et ça, pour moi, c'est presque des nouveaux épaulettes. C'est des ailes qui donnent une sorte de liberté et force, pas le pouvoir. C'est pas des femmes de pouvoir, c'est des femmes fortes. Il y a une sorte de changement aujourd'hui avec la vie des femmes qui devient vraiment presque dure, mais sublime, parce qu'elles sont en charge de tout. Elles doivent être des perfect mères, parfait dans le travail, pas avec les enfants, parfait en look, parfait maigre, parfait musclé, fait paride. J'ai voulu leur donner un petit peu d'aide et les épaules donnent quelque chose, ça protège. J'ai pas voulu avoir les épaulettes comme une sorte de décoration. J'ai voulu que les épaulettes devient une partie de la conscience du vêtement. Alors j'ai commencé à les coudre et j'ai voulu chercher des différentes manières de les intégrer dans les vêtements. Alors ça peut être coupé, ça peut être juste matelassé. Et ça, c'était mon point de départ.
Ces épaulettes, on y arrive. Il n'y a que de là qui est là et ça qui est fait. Ça, c'est pas encore la ligne durette.
J'en ai encore au moins pour 2 heures. Il y a encore un zip. Système, après, il y a tout le nettoyage. Ce qui est le plus long, en fin de compte, maintenant, c'est tout nettoyer. Après, il y a l'arrondi. Il y a encore quelques heures, oui. Au moins 2.
Peter, hi. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Very good. Good to see you. All is good?
Yeah. Well, the show's over, so I'm a little bit more human.
Good for you. Yours is over already.
Yeah. When's yours?
Tomorrow.
That's very nice of you to come here.
Yeah, just for a second, and I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm going now to work on the lighting and the space. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You kind of finish and you're never finished.
No.
And when done, you start all over again.
Totally. And I know that Isabelle was saying that she was all done last night.
Bonjour, yeah.
Ouais, à chaque fois.
on se fait la bise parce qu'à chaque fois,
Comment ça va, Isabelle?
on s'embête un peu tous les deux. Mais...
When are you showing? What day? You all done?
Like in the middle.
Do you have a piece ready? One finish?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Love, Jean-Baptiste. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.